Welcome back. Today I'm looking at an indie game by the name of Offspring Fling, made by Kyle Pulver. He's made this great little platforming game, very reminiscent of Super Nintendo type games. It also reminds me kind of Kirby, if you've played any of the Kirby games, in that it is relatively easy just to beat the game and play through it, but incredibly difficult to get all the secrets and challenges if you want to get them. And the character even looks a little bit like Kirby. It's like looks like a rabbit mixed with, I guess, Pikachu kind of, or something like that. But it really is about a mother. You're playing the mother, and you have your offspring that you have to rescue in all the levels in the game. There's 100+ levels in this game, and the goal is to rescue your little babies and get them to the end of each level. You can see this video right here. I'm playing, but I'm not. This is where I'm kind of trying to learn the game a little bit. I'm not familiar exactly with how it plays, so I'm just trying to figure it out. You pick up your babies and you throw them. Also, one thing I found out later on is you can actually throw your babies and activate these switches and levers, which is neat. You can also take out enemies with your babies. And depending on how fast you complete the level, you get a little blue flower if you're not too great, a gold flower if you can beat it really fast, and a developer flower if you beat it as fast as the developer beat it. Now you can see here there's a ghost of my character kind of following me around, and that is where I was at that second that I'm currently playing the game. So it shows how much I'm beating myself basically in a ghost replay. You can see I beat it by 6 seconds. The gold time is 12 seconds down there at the bottom. So one thing you can do is continue to replay the level over and over again if you would like to get that gold flower, and then ultimately to beat the developer flower. So that's one thing I'm trying to do on this level, is to try to do that, and it's very difficult to beat yourself a lot of times because, you know, depending on how quick you are, it's really hard to do that. Now I'm using a Xbox 360 controller because I found it a lot easier than the keyboard and mouse. So if you don't have one, it does play fine with the keyboard, but you may find that it's a lot easier with a controller like that. And I tend to like that for these type of games because it feels like I'm playing Super Nintendo again, you know, the old games like that. The other thing about it is it's got a great soundtrack. It's a soundtrack by a man by the name of Alex it's hard for me to say his last name, Holoka, and he actually was the soundtrack guy on Aquaria, which is a very popular soundtrack. If you're not familiar with that, I would look it up. It's a great soundtrack, and the soundtrack in this game is great as well, and you can actually play some of the songs on the Offspring Fling website as well. So very well done. I think this game was actually created, they had a game, they call it a game jam, I think a developer jam, where they give a topic out and then developers quickly make a game about that topic. And Kyle Pulver made this game. I guess the topic was mothers and their children. So he made this Offspring Fling where she's trying to rescue her children. She uses her children to, you know, obviously solve the puzzles and to get through the game. Now, one thing you can do, you can see here, you can actually save your replay either to the internet or to a file. And what that allows you to do actually is share your ghost replays like I was showing you with your friends. So you can actually give it to your friends, and then they can actually try to beat your time, and you'll actually see your little ghost character running along next to them as they try to beat your time. That's a lot of fun. It's neat to be able to compete like that in a game like this. So we couldn't do that obviously back in the day of Super Nintendo. Of course, back in the day of Super Nintendo, we were probably sitting right next to each other on the floor in front of the TV doing it, but regardless, it's a neat little feature. Like I said, there's 100+ levels. They also have what I thought was pretty interesting is a level editor. So you can actually go in here and make your own levels and then share them with your friends or share them online. So you can actually come up with some pretty crazy creations. There's 100+ levels, but you can probably beat this game, I would say, in maybe 2 hours if you didn't go for the gold flowers every single time, which is still a great deal because this game was only a couple bucks on Steam. If you want to get it, I would keep an eye out for it because it'll inevitably go on sale, and you'll probably, you know, want to pick it up because it's fun, right? It's these Super Nintendo games. They actually had a picture. There's a screenshot out there of somebody actually edited the game cover art onto a Super Nintendo cartridge, and it really does bring you back. Just the graphics, the style, you know, the sound, the jumping sounds. Just all the little details about it. So a lot of fun, worthwhile game to pick up, I would say, especially if you just want to have some little puzzle action. It's very, very familiar to those people who like games like World of Goo and any other. Super Meat Boy is a good example of this type of game where you can keep playing a level to beat it. Now, The main difference I will say between Super Meat Boy and this is that Super Meat Boy is very, very hard and very difficult to get through, and this game is much more simplistic, much more like a Kirby game. So you can see actually here on the screen, I'm actually on this one level, just trying to work my way through it because I'd love to be able to just beat my time. I want to get those gold flowers, and probably as many of you are aware, for no other reason than just to have gold flowers. It's kind of silly, achievements in games, because you don't really get anything for it except the satisfaction of knowing that you achieved it. So I guess that's the reward in and of itself. There's also a lot of secrets in this game, and I won't go through a lot of the secrets. I'm not aware of all of them, but I know there's some pretty neat secrets that unlock just some cool stuff. Of course, it's all just video game stuff, but it's still neat. You can see I got the gold flower here, and you can actually see the dev time, 10:48, which seems almost impossible, but I'm sure I could do it eventually. And you get a little multicolored flower, so something to strive for. So anyway, there's not too much else to say about this game except that it's very well done, very stylized, very, I would pick it up. I think it's definitely worthwhile. It's definitely a nice change of pace from stressful type games. This game really just kind of makes you feel relaxed, trying to beat your time. It's fun to race against myself, trying to figure out how to beat these levels. So anyway, I will leave you at that, and I will keep this video going. I've got about 4 more minutes of gameplay, but I'm gonna shrink it down so it moves really fast and you can just kind of see my progression through the levels, and I hope you enjoy. So I will catch you next time. Please like this video and subscribe if you did, and I will be back again soon.